to the woman I'm becoming. I see you, I honor you, I'm learning to trust.
Hi guys, good morning. I'm a little cranky this morning because I really, oh my god, I'm about to cry. I really miss my mom, like really badly. And I'm so emotional this morning, like it's bad. But I realize I only get this way when she comes to see me. For those of y'all that don't know, I have a gift that I never ever asked for, but God gave it to me, and my gift runs in my family. So my mother had it and my grandmother had it, and they would always tell me stories about like God coming to see them or God talking to them, God giving them specific instructions about things to do and what to do. And they would tell me eventually it's going to be my turn, but I did not think that it was going to be this extreme when it comes to me. Okay. So yeah, my grandmother was hearing from God heavy. My mom as well. Mind you, the both of them was rich. Okay. But everybody used to think, oh, they're rich because they did this, and this, and they had businesses. No, they both told me whatever God told them to do, that is what they did. And that is how they acquired wealth. Okay. So anyway, my mom came to see me, and she was telling me like I'm doing such a good job and all this stuff. And I woke up and I started crying. And now I'm emotional. But there has been request for me to do more videos. Oh my god, I'm crying while I'm doing this video. That's how y'all know I love y'all, because let me tell you something. I'm doing this for y'all. I hate when my mom comes to see me because it throws me off so bad. But I also love it as well because like she knows when I need to be comforted. Anyway, and then on top of that, she be going to my friends like in their dreams, and she'll tell them to buy me stuff because I'm still doing her court case. And when shit goes left in her court case, mind you, I don't even tell my family. Shit goes left in her court case, she'll tell one of my friends, hey, go buy Dana this. And then my friend will be like, hey, your mom came to me in a dream and told me to buy you this. Let me show you one thing. Hold on. This is just one of the gifts. Okay? Everybody know my favorite color is orange. Everybody knows. So anyway, something extraordinary had happened. Okay? And like my mom went to one of my friends and was like, hey, go buy Dana this. And she literally, this is just one of the gifts. I have multiple stuff where people will call me and be like, hey, something's coming to your door because your mom came to me and told me to. When I tell you I'm spoiled, I'm fucking spoiled, okay? But my mother, she always, and I know the Bible thumper's gonna be like, Dana, those are familiar spirits. No, because in the Bible, it literally says different verses about certain people came and showed themselves alive after they died. And God says, as he is, so are we in this world. Huh? And then Jesus, when he died, he came back and showed himself alive. And then there were people that were coming out of their tombs in the Bible and showing themselves alive to others. So please, don't try me. I've had too many miracles. Anyway, so my mama came to see me and it threw me off. Here we are, emotional. I'm really only doing this video and I'm starting back to come back on YouTube and stuff. if you want to hear more about the miracles and spiritual part, y'all got to put comments down below, and then I'll talk more about it, because I am like heavily spiritually protected. Anyway, so I started to not me, because if you left that up to me, I wouldn't be doing no YouTube videos at all, because I feel like they're too long. But anyway, there has been requests for me to do longer content from people that like starting to see my content as like healing and helping them through no longer being suicidal or no longer being depressed or having anxiety attacks and stuff like that, which I talk a lot about that on my Instagram page. And I guess it's like helping y'all. So I'm gonna put proof of people asking for me to do more longer content. So this is for y'all, okay? And I'm doing it on a day where I'm hella emotional because I miss my mom. Well, while all my videos are going to be structured with information, I'm not just gonna be doing random ass videos for y'all. So I'll pick a topic and then I'll pick a word of the day, and I'll just keep doing longer videos for y'all. This is for y'all, because if you left it up to me, I wouldn't be doing longer videos anymore at all. But because you guys keep asking for it, and it's helping you guys no longer be suicidal or struggle with depression, and suicide prevention is my calling, like I have to be obedient. So here we are. Okay, so it's morning, and I usually make like my protein coffee before I leave the house. So y'all are gonna make that with me, and then we're gonna talk, okay? And I need my hair done. Don't come for me, mind your business. Mind your business. My hair has not been done in 2 months, okay? We're looking rough. So we're gonna make my protein coffee. The topic of this video is gonna be finances, because I realized I'm really not a big deal. That's why I don't understand why people be bothering me about like, okay, we're gonna backtrack. So I realized, because y'all know I'm a nurse, so I go to people's houses and stuff, and then sometimes people will stop me on the street. I swear I'm not lying. Sometimes people will stop me on the street and they'll be like, no. And I'll be like, who are you talking to? I'm not. And then one person was like, you need to have a YouTube. And I'm like, bro, I don't have time for that. I'm too broken right now. My mommy is dead. My mother's been dead for 3 years. But I'm not allowed to grieve in the way that a normal person would grieve, because I still have to go to court for her and deal with all of the foolery that comes with going to court for her, okay? So anyway, one girl was like, no, you need to be on YouTube. You got a YouTube. I don't care if you got like 50 followers. Give me your YouTube channel. To this day, she's still following me, okay? She be like, I see you, girl, keep going. And I'm like, bro. Or like, I'll go to see like some of my patients, their dementia or something like that. And you know, dementia patients, sometimes they'll have like lucid moments. There is this Vietnamese lady, that's my patient. I go see her. She's always confused, but she's very pleasant. She had a lucid moment one day and she was like, wow. And I was like, what happened? And she was like, no, you need to be doing something. I was like, I don't understand. And she's like, no, you need to be doing something. She was like, what do you want to be? Like, do that. And I was like, so it's just been, you know, I talk about it all the time, like realizing how God is using other people to speak to you about what he wants you to do. Do that. I'm running into a lot of instances where it's like, no, it's time for you to do things outside of nursing. It's time. And mind you, if you know me, you know, I used to tell people all the time, like, I don't want to be a nurse no more. I don't want to work the rest of my life. I don't want to. And then when I finally found a job where I'm comfortable, where it's not as stressful, I'm like, okay, well, I could do this. And God is like, no. And then he'll send other people to tell you, no, I need you to do things outside of this, outside of nursing, outside of, you understand? So here we are, okay? Because God has been bothering me, and then he's sending other people to confirm, I need you to do more than just nursing. Okay? All right, so here we are. So the topic today is going to be finances. We're going to talk about finances in the sense of my journey, my story, and then I will give you guys a word of the day. So, if you don't know, my name is Dana. I'm very big on suicide prevention. I don't play. If you want to see all of the products I'm using to make my protein coffee, I'm going to link down below my Instagram video where I explained everything, but we're going to go through this because we have to get through the video. Okay, so my name is Dana. I'm a veteran. I was in the military for 4 years, a little under 4 years. I was a 68 whiskey medic. I was stationed out in Fort Bragg, trained in Fort Leonard Wood, and then did my other training in Texas where you learn how to become a 68 whiskey. So when it comes to finances pertaining to the military, I joined the military with a contract, but my contract, I would not join unless I told them or they agreed to me having student loan repayment, okay? Because at the time when I joined, I had student loans, but I had my bachelor's in biology and then I had my my master's degree in public administration, okay? But I realized with all of those degrees, I didn't want to do anything in that sense. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I said, let me join the military. But you never join the military without a purpose. You have to join with a certain mindset, okay? So I said, this is the part of the what I'm requesting in my contract. I need you guys to pay off my student loans, okay? And I need you guys to put me through school. So the agreement, because at the time, I don't know what was going on with the world, but there was a lot going on. I cannot remember. Don't judge me. You know, my brain only has but so much space. But they were like, well, we can't fully pay off your student loans, but what we can do is every year we can pay 33 1/3% of your student loans, and then we can put you through school. And I said, okay, bet. So every year I stayed in, they paid 33 1/3%, and I stayed in for 4 years. So 4 years they paid for 33 1/3%, and they put me through school, right? But I had to figure out, like, okay, Dana, this is the last schooling you about to do. You actually got to really pick a career this time. And at this time, my mom was alive, so she was like, girl, do what you got to do as long as you do what you're doing, okay? So, did that, joined the military. I waited till I was out of the military to go to school, and then I decided, I was like, yo, let me just do nursing, because I feel like nursing is just going to, you can't screw that up, okay? And I'm a nerd, so I was already reading a lot of books and stuff, so nursing to me was gonna come as something easy, right? But I'm gonna tell you, nursing school was not easy, okay? So anyway, we finished with that. So when I started the military, my student loans were at $200,000. Don't judge me, mind your business, okay? So whatever I do, whenever I do anything in life, I always make sure to find my reparations. I know. The other day we were at work and one of the girls was upset and was like, oh, the Jewish people, they have reparations. We need our own reparations. And I told her, I said, sweetheart, you gotta find your own reparations, okay? So this video is literally about me finding my reparations in different ways and forms. That way I'm not running around as a bitter black woman because, you know, oh, we didn't get our reparations. No, baby, you go find it, okay? So that was the first step in me finding my reparations. I literally made sure they were paying off my student loans. So every year at a certain time, they were paying it off, and I would track it. Then it was time for me to get out of the military. I made sure that before I got out of the military, because I was hearing a lot of rumors, and then I spoke to a couple of people, and they were like, yo, you never leave the military without getting some type of retirement money. And I used to be like, bro, how do I get retirement money? And then people started telling me, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you claim, this is what you claim. Ciao. Got out the military, they gave me $17,000 check, okay, because I got med boarded. and then they were paying me $1,000 a month as retirement. Okay, so I gave my mom that check. I didn't give her all of it though. I took out like, I want to say I took out like 10K because I had to move all of my stuff. By the way, the military pays for you to move to go back to either home or another state of your choice, right? When you get out. So I was like, that's great. But I had to set myself up. So I had to get a new car. I had to get furniture. I had to figure out where I was going to live, this, that, and the third. So I said, I was going to move to Florida. And just figured everything out, right? And I gave my mom the other $7,000 because I was like, Mama, guard this for me. When I need it, just give it back to me, okay? So I moved into an apartment, came to Florida, moved to an apartment, got all my stuff together, and was just making it work. And I said, you know what? Now I'm gonna go to school. I went to school and I started doing nursing, okay? Went to Chamberlain College of Nursing. Once I did that, that is when the benefits had kicked in for me to go to nursing school for free, right? So everybody's working and having to go to work and go to school. I didn't have to work. Why? Because I used up the little bit of money that the military left me with, and I made it work. And then when you're in school and you're using your VA benefits, your military benefits to go to school, they also pay you a monthly stipend. So they were paying me, listen to this, they were paying me in 2015 is when I got out the military. They were paying me $3,000 a month. You heard what I said? $3,000 a month. On top of that, my retirement was another $1,000. So I was making $4K a month. I was living below my means, so I didn't have to work. And then they kept telling us like, the last year of the program, you guys are not going to be able to work because y'all are going to have clinicals, exams, I was working. All my friends were working. I wasn't working. Okay. But I was the only one busting out ATI exams, 90s. Chapter exams, 90s. Okay. Everything, I was busting them out. And then my first was like, bro, what the fuck? And I was like, bro, because I don't have to work. My only job at that time was to go to the gym, show up to my VA appointments, because you know when you have VA, when you get disability, your doctor's appointments, you have to show up. If you don't show up, they see it as like, why are you not showing up to your doctor's appointments for these disabilities that you claimed, right? So my only job was to go to school, go to the gym, show up to my veteran disability appointments, and study, right? Talk about blessed, huh? Okay, so all my bills was coming out of the $4,000 a month that I was getting from the military. I was chilling. When I tell you I was chilling and passing every fucking exam, no problems, bet. So there's that. So I went to nursing school for completely free. The only thing I had to buy was my books and stuff, because the military does not cover that. You got to come up with your funds for books and stuff. But girl, I was living it up. So there's that. So if you're gonna join the military, make sure you join the military with a purpose. Don't just join because you want to join, okay? Because the type of shit that they put you through while you're in the military, it don't make no damn sense. Let the stress be worth it, okay? And find your reparations. So that's the military. Anyway, I met another friend who was like, they were asking me like, Dana, how much is your disability a month? And I was like, it's only 1K. And they were like, no. And I was like, what do you mean no? And so that person had showed me how to get more money from the military, okay? So now, that this is why I also say, like, listen to the people around you. If God can trust that he's going to send somebody to give you a word about, like, what he wants you to do, he's going to give you more, okay? But you got to be able to listen. Like, if somebody's coming to you and telling you, oh, you really have a bad attitude, you need to work on that, work on your fucking attitude, so God could bless you more. So anyway, this person came and told me, so I said, okay. They told me what to do. I said, bet. Went in, I filed more claims, but instead of filing more claims, they told me to go in and appeal, right? But you have to show proof that you are declining in certain areas. So for me, I started having back arthritis, and then my ankle and my knee started popping. I already had that in the claim before I left the military, but they put it at 0. So then the person's like, just go to the doctor, make them look over it. The x-rays, if the x-rays show you getting worse, they have to bump it up. And mind you, all these claims were on hold, and then my mom had passed, and then I didn't do anything because I was just so distraught. But then last month, I went in and I put all the appeals in. When they be like, Dana, can you work extra hours? No, I don't want to. I don't want to. Okay? Yeah. I don't need to do overtime because the military is paying me to breathe. Okay? So, anyway, there's that. That's one part, right? So now, the military had paid off 33 and 1/3% every year for 4 years, right? I'm sorry, that's wrong. 33 and 1/3% per month for 4 years. And I had $200K in student loans. By the time I got out, remember, interest accrues. By the time I got out of the military, the remaining balance on my student loans was like 50K, 50, 60K, 70K. I'm gonna put it here so y'all can see, because I don't need to make this shit up, right? So we went from 200K with interest, you know, the interest was building up, to now 70K, right? Hold on. So I said, listen, I'm not paying this because I'm gonna find my reparations, okay? So I had 70K left from what they were paying, and then I had personal student loans. Personal student loans was at 30K. So now we're 30K in personal student loans, 70K that's left over from the 200K that the military had paid, right? So I said, okay, we're finna tackle this. Then I saw, pay attention, every time you see that a certain institution is being sued, you need to jump on the fucking bandwagon, okay? I saw Navient. Navient was where the 30K was at. Navient was being sued for harassment. It was all over the news, but people weren't paying attention. But I remember watching, I forgot his name. I can't remember his name. I remember it's a black guy, and he's very into stock markets. And he was like, what a lot of black people don't understand is that when shit falls apart, that's your window to get out of whatever you put yourself into. So I said, So I see Navient was being sued for da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and I was like, okay, all right. Then I also saw Uhea, U-H-E-A. That was also a company that I had borrowed student loans from. They were also in trouble as well they were being sued for harassment or something like that. So their asses was on the line. So I said, oh. So I called Navient and I said, hey, I swear, I'm not lying to you. And this was the student loan that my uncle had took out for me. We ain't gonna say too much about him, but this was a student loan that my uncle had took out for me. And my mother was like, hey, we got to pay this back because you know. And I said, I know, right? And I said, I'm going to leave the 70K and I'm going to focus on the 30. But when I saw that they were being sued, I said, oh, bet. I called them up and I said, hey, I'm just calling because, you know, I'm having some issues and some troubles and stuff. I'm also a veteran, military. I was 68 whiskey, which is a part of healthcare. And I was wondering what you guys can do for me pertaining to the fact that I just got out of the military. And then I also saw on the news that you guys are having some legal issues. I swear to God, I'm not lying. I said it. The man said, please hold on. Give me 1 second. It took him 10 minutes. I remember I was at work and I was like, bro, this man will come back. I have to hang up because my patient is calling me. Y'all, this man came back. He was like, hey, Dana, this is what we're going to do. Yes, we are having some legal issues, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to cancel all your student loans. I'm going to put your debt at 0. I swear to God, I'm not lying. I'm about to show y'all proof. I'm going to put your debt at 0, and we're just going to cancel your debt. I said, excuse me? He was like, yeah, all 30,000, we're going to cancel your debt. I said, okay. I said, but then my mother taught me, whenever you do anything like that, make sure you get a settlement paper that's saying that your balance is at zero, because at any time these companies could flip it and be like, oh, we never said that, your debt is back up to. My mother said, get a settlement paper proving and stating from them that your balance is zero. I said, bet. I said, I need you to send me the letter. He was like, oh, absolutely. It'll take about 7 to 10 business days. I said, do you guys have the right address? Yes, we do. Bitch, I got that letter in the mail. Zero debt. I said, Mama, send this to my uncle. Let him know the debt has been paid. Huh? Okay. Now let's talk about the 70K. Now, COVID is here. COVID's busting everybody's ass. I said, oh, absolutely. I'm not paying back this 70K. Immediately, no. Okay? So the government was like, oh, we're going to pause student loans due to COVID. I said, bet. So I followed the stuff for them to pause it, right? Paused, right? Because if you don't do it, it will mess up your credit, okay? So we paused it because of the whole COVID thing. So I was like, bet, that's great. Then they were like, they were talking about public service loan forgiveness. I'm going to put my ebook down below showing you guys how to get public service loan forgiveness. Public service loan forgiveness is for people that are working in nonprofit organizations. Every month you work in that nonprofit organization is a month that they consider a student loan payment. Is a month that they consider a student loan payment. I'm going to say it again. Every month that you work at a nonprofit organization, even if they are paying you, because where I work at now, they are nonprofit. They consider nonprofit. But even if that organization is paying you bi-weekly for the work that you do and they considered our nonprofit, every month that you work there, that is considered a payment towards your student loan. I worked at Holy Cross Hospital for 3 years. That was considered 36 payments towards my student loan. So I applied, I did the whole application. Guess how much I'm paying? Guess how much I'm paying a month for my student loans? I'm not lying, I don't need to lie. I pay $10 a month for my student loans. I just look. I don't need to. I keep telling people, go and find your reparations. Stop bitching and complaining. Oh, the Jews, the Jews, the Jews. You go find your reparations. You go find it. Okay? Another thing. I have a house. Everybody knows houses are not cheap. They're not cheap at all. Okay? But I do have a house. Okay? I'm about to tell you all of the apps that I have used to pay for certain things in this house that don't make no freaking sense. Okay? So, when you have a house, you need to have a house warranty and an appliance warranty. Meaning any appliances that break down in your house, they are to either buy you a new one or come fix it, but you pay the monthly fee so that you are covered. So my appliance warranty for my house, meaning they cover the microwave, the stove, the dishwasher, the water heater, washer and dryer, refrigerator, piping. No, not piping, but any appliances within your house. I pay $40 a month, right? When I tell you the amount of times my stove has broken, if you go online and you look to see for somebody to come and repair your stove, they want $250 every time they come out, opposed to me paying $40 a month. My stove was broken. At one point, it was having smoke come out. Another time, it wasn't working. Somebody came, replaced little pieces within the stove for $40 a month. I had to call them 3 times to fix my stove. Now my stove is working. Now I bake, I cook, all the things. My washer and dryer, there was a connection part that had like rusted or something. $40 a month, they came in. When I looked it up to see the price of the little appliance that he had to replace, bitch, $600? No, okay? Now you have your house warranty. Your house warranty is going to cover any broken pipes underneath the house. You need that. I have had 2 instances where pipes underneath the house broke and they had to dig the backyard and the front yard to fix the fucking pipe. Overflowing of water, okay? I've had my toilet overflow in my guest bathroom where poop water was coming up and overflowed the whole bathroom. I had to put blankets and everything and then throw my blankets out afterward. Okay. I pay, with my house warranty, I pay $23 a month. The house warranty also covers any clogs in your bathtubs, any clogs in your toilets, overflow of water, broken pipes underneath the house that they can go and fix by sending a plug to see which pipe is broken. It covers any roof leaks. If you have a motherfucking roof like mine and it's a little old and you don't have $40,000 to fix a whole motherfucking roof, yeah, you need a house warranty. Okay, so my house warranty is $23 a month. I've had 5 roof leaks. I'm gonna put pictures because I don't need to make this shit up. 5 roof leaks. It's just, the only thing is when they come out, you have to pay the $150. Okay. Before I had this warranty and I had a pipe burst in front of the house. Before I had this house warranty, a pipe burst in front of the house. I had to pay the guy $750 for him to come out. That's not including for the motherfucker to fix it. I'll pay the $23 a month and not have to. So it's $23 a month, and then the $150 for them to come out. I'm saving money. Okay. So there's that. I'm gonna put all the links. My house warranty. If you live in Florida, please get it. I'm gonna put it down below, the link, so you can sign up. My appliance warranty. I'm gonna put the link down below so you can sign up. If you have a house, you don't have time to be burning money every time something breaks for somebody to come in. My pipe in the kitchen had an issue. My warranty covered. I didn't. What? But it's what? Okay. When you have a car, so I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't make my own car payments. I have a car, but I don't make the payments because my disability check from the military, that covers my car payment, my car insurance, my website for my clothing line, my business telephone, like my monthly, because I have 2 phones. I have my personal phone where family and everybody can reach me, and then I have a business phone where people that I have meetings with or my models reach me if they want to, if I need them to model some clothes for me for my clothing line. Yeah. So that money from the military covers my car note, my car insurance, my business telephone monthly fee, my website fee that I pay for my clothing line. They cover that too. Listen, I spoiled times a million. Okay. So we're gonna talk about my car. I drive a Benz, right? The only reason why I drive that Benz is because of my mom, because my car was breaking down before, really bad before it. And she was like, before I leave this earth, did I know she was gonna die the following year? No, nobody knew. We'll talk about my mom's case another time. But, yeah. So she was like, before I leave this earth, I need you in a decent car so I don't have to worry about you. Because when I tell you, my car would break down on me on the highway. On the highway. So she was like, here's $20K. Yeah. People swear that my mother and my grandmother were rich because of the businesses that they had. No, God was leading them. When I tell you, sometimes my mother will call me, and when she was alive, she would call me. She'd be like, hey, I had a dream that I'm supposed to start this. I'm just gonna do it. And my mother would get money just flowing her way. But people would think that my mother and my grandmother were just making money because no, God was guiding them along the way. They were getting dreams just like I get dreams, right? Anyway, so the car. So I drive a Benz. Everybody knows that when you have a German car, it is very expensive to maintain it. Okay, what time is it? It is very, very, very expensive to maintain a car, right? But if you get a warranty, every time that car breaks down, whatever's covered under that warranty, you only pay a $200 fee, and then they have to fix or replace or do whatever needs to be done. Y'all, my Benz had needed a new battery. There's a pipe underneath the car that is connected to something else that has like a water bubble or something that prevents the car from overheating. I had to get like new extension pipes under the car. thank God I had a car warranty. I paid my $200, and then something had happened to my engine, and they had to replace something that was attached to the engine. So I said, print out the bill of what it would be if I didn't have this warranty. Bitch. But who? And then I paid my $200, and they had to cover everything else because the warranty. Man. Okay, so there's that. Get a car warranty. Get a car warranty. Get a car warranty. Okay? I'm going to put a referral down below for warranty. Okay? So now we're going to talk about apps. The first app I'm going to talk about is Acorns. Acorns, I have later, whenever you swipe your card, let's say something costs $150, they will take the remaining amount of the whole dollar and put it into an investment. Okay, so let's say something costs $1.50. Later we'll be like, okay, well, the roundup is $2. We're gonna take this 50 cents and put it into an investment. I have later on there, I have the 1% IRA on there, and I have there's this other thing where they take $20 a month from me, and then another thing where they take $10 a month from me. Anyway, you're supposed to leave it, forget it, don't even touch it, right? So I had that for years. My mom had died. I forgot that account was there. So you know, when somebody passes away, you kind of like go into having a brain of mashed potatoes, and you just cannot think, right? Because my first thought was, where's this woman that killed my mom? And the person that actually killed my mom, which wasn't her, what are we gonna do about him? Because he's still roaming the streets. So all these things was going on in my mind, and I couldn't really tell my family because I was like, if I tell them what really happened, oh my God. Okay, so I was like, I was taking time off, and then my job was being weird, and my job was like, oh, you're PRN, you don't get bereavement leave. I was like, okay. So I went and I checked all of the random ass apps that I have, and I'm going to tell you all the apps that I have. The first app, like I just said, is Acorns. I went and I checked my Acorns app. Girl, there was $4,000 in that app. I said, okay, I'm going to use that to pay my mortgage, okay? Because I was so, I didn't go to work for a good little minute because I had to get my mother situated, buried, cremated, all the things, have a ceremony, get people down here, take care. It was a whole thing. So I went in all my apps that I had, and I just pulled all the money out. And I was like, okay, well, this will cover me for a month, just so I can get my mind together. So the Acorns had like $4K in it. I'm going to show proof. I drained that account. I paid my mortgage. I had Dosh at the time. Dosh is for like hotels and stuff. There was money in that app. I'm going to see if I can find the thing for it. I'm going to put it here. Drain that. I think it had like $1,000 in it. I had Fetch. Y'all, I must have had like 50,000 points in there. And I remember I needed to pay my FPL bill, which is like electricity. I used some of that. Right now, I think I have like 30,000 points. But when you get these apps, do not touch it after you are allowing them to take money from you with it, okay? So Fetch is an app where every time you go and buy something or anything like that, you take a picture of the receipt, it gathers up points, and those points turn into money. I wiped that out too. I think right now I have like 30,000, about 30,000 in my Fetch account right now. I swiped that thing dry too. Then I had, what else did I have? But I get sick and tired of hearing, oh my gosh, the Jewish people, they got reparations. We don't have reparations, blah, blah, blah. So I talked about the home warranty. I talked about Fetch. Remember, you scan a receipt and it'll tell you how many points you earn. Now, these apps are very slow to the point where like sometimes a receipt is like 10 points. Sometimes a receipt is like 20. No, the least amount for Fetch is 25 points per receipt. But sometimes if you have like something that they're doing a sale that day and you happen to go and get it, it'll give you like 2,500 points or 3,500 points. I remember the other day I got gum and I scanned the receipt and it was like 3,500 points, and I was like, oh my, OMG. It was like, right? Remember, you scan your receipt and it'll give you points, and then you can do a gift card or whatever you have to do and go pay a bill, which is what I did, right? When my mom had died. What's another one? Oh, my favorite one. So I only did this because when my mom died, it traumatized me so bad. So I said, how can I gain points that if anybody else dies, I can automatically just get on a plane and not have to worry about, oh, I have to come up with $800 for a ticket. So there's this thing where any airline that you're accustomed to or that you love, you go through their shopping portal and you shop for stuff, right? So I get my groceries delivered to my house when I'm like not having good days. I just have my groceries delivered to my house. And I always use Instacart. And I know with American Airlines or Delta or wherever, if you do your Instacart through their shopping portal, you gain points, which turns into miles. Those miles you can use to book a flight to go wherever you need to go. So I always do that. Even you can do it with gas. I do it with gas. Every time I get gas in my car, I make sure to book it through their shopping portal, right? Anytime I do have groceries delivered to my house, I do it through their shopping portal. Whenever I go buy my weaves, when I go buy my weaves, I do it through their shopping portal. And then the points will accumulate over time. Girl, let me show you how much miles I got right now just by shopping through their shopping portal. So you have to find your reparations. Stop complaining, oh, the black people, the white people. No, you go find it. Because the way that I'm living right now, like my friend was laughing at me the other day. She was like, bitch, you're literally like God's princess. Like he literally be like taking care of you. And he is, right? But I also make sure I go find like stuff as well. Like a lot of times we sit there and we're like, oh, I'm just going to wait for things to fall in our lap. No, you never wait for things to fall on your lap. You go find it. Okay. When my mother was alive, we was also looking up like, FSA, right? So she was teaching me about FSA. When she died, I saw that she also had HSA. And I was like, what the hell is an HSA? Because mommy was telling me about FSA. So I'm asking my aunt and my uncle, and my aunt was like, oh no, it's, you know, when you have insurance and then you also allow your job to be able to put that money into an extra money into an account monthly. I was like, oh, so it's like FSA. She was like, yeah, but not really. And I was like, oh. So, girl, we learned about it, okay? I got HSA through my job, and I have FSA through my job. When I tell y'all every month, I be buying pads, tampons, vitamins through my HSA and FSA, I don't spend money on that no more. When I tell you now I'm living so comfortable, it don't make no damn sense. Like, your bitch sleep well. I sleep good now. When it comes to, I'm not saying I gotta pay this bill. No, like we're good. Like we're okay. And it's through my job. You just have to ask your job for the card for FSA and HSA. Once they give you the card, it looks like a debit card. You can go on Amazon Prime and buy your pads and tampons and vitamins. Just make sure you click FSA eligible or HSA eligible, and it'll bring up vitamins and stuff that's covered by that card. But you have to use all of that money in that card yearly, or they will take their money back. Did you know that? I didn't know that. So now I checked my account the other day with my HSA card. There's $750 on there. I bought 2 pairs of sneakers, gym sneakers, right? Because with your HSA card, your diagnosis from your primary physician, it has to show that certain things are covered. So with the 2 pairs of sneakers that I got, they're foam runners, right? But they're not Nike or anything like that. But under my diagnosis with my primary, it says that I have flat feet and plantar fasciitis and something else with my calf, which is confirmed in my primary. So they covered 2 pairs of sneakers, foam runners with arches for the gym. My iron, I have iron deficiency and vitamin D deficiency. So I use my HSA card to get AG1 greens covered. because in my primary diagnosis, it says anemia and vitamin D. Listen, I'm so comfortable, it's stupid now with money, okay? So there's that. If you didn't know about that, please make sure the job that you are signed up on, they're contributing to HSA and FSA funds for you. It's free money from your job, okay? Another thing, when you are getting hired by these jobs, try to go more towards nonprofit organizations. One, they pay more. They pay way more, okay? And two, they have a lot of like events and raffles and stuff like that. I'm queen of raffle everything. Please put me in a raffle, okay? They have like pop-up quizzes of different things that we do. My office, have y'all seen my office? I'm gonna show y'all my office. My whole office is orange, but not by, I didn't get that office by my money. I got that office by my job's money, okay? So they had a contest and they gave out a $100 gift card and I bought my orange chair. They had another contest and they gave out like I think it was like a $50 gift card. I bought the desk. My computer, they was doing something weird at my job and they were like, oh, everybody enter, da 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 da, and then we'll something about a gift card to Best Buy. My computer, my desktop computer was like 15. No, it was $1,200 for the desktop. But they gave out the gift card and then they had something else. So by the time I left and got my desktop computer, I barely paid. Listen, take part in your company's contests, their pop-up quizzes, their events. Go to everything because they're always giving stuff out at these jobs. Another thing my mother also taught me before she died too is whenever you sign up for a job, go and look up what their policies are and what they offer their employees. So my job, they offer this thing called climbing the ladder, where if you want to climb the ladder in their organization, you have to sit through a certain amount of classes, and then they pay you $3,000 every year at the same time. Y'all are not finding your reparations. And then you sit there and you cry and you're bitter and you're talking about, oh, the Jewish people. No, you go find it. You go find it. Go find it. So I used that $3K and I went and had my whole backyard cleared out. I'm going to show y'all the video after this. Had my whole backyard cleared out. I had the hedges in the front of my house cleared out. The only thing I have to do now, I need a new fence and I need a new roof. And I promise you, I'm gonna find a way to do it without coming out of pocket. I promise you. I promise you. Watch me, okay? So yeah, just find your reparations and stop playing, okay? So here's the word for the day. Stop being afraid to cut people off. I think that's Amazon. Yeah, that's Amazon. Stop being afraid to cut people off. The other day, I had to cut off my uncle. Yeah, and I don't feel bad about it, okay? Because every month, you're sitting there and you're asking me to get you a certain piece of paper to apply for my mother's shares. But what you don't understand is I'm fighting for my life, because what's happening behind the scenes, which I don't really tell anybody at all, is my stepfather's lying and telling people that I'm stealing money from him. I am also my stepfather's power of attorney, and he has 4 other kids. There's that problem right there. If you know law, you will understand. Once you're somebody's power of attorney and you work in the medical field, I'm a nurse, by the way, there's opportunity for this person to appear before a judge and have you arrested for, I forgot the name of the thing, what it's called. Have you arrested for mishandling their money, but there's like a certain term in law about it, right? Have you arrested for mishandling their money? So I'm fucking sitting here stressed the fuck out because this evil ass man is running around telling lies, and you're hitting me up every month for the past 2 to 3 years to ask me for the same fucking paperwork from a judge that I cannot get until I am cleared by the judge for this man. I cut this man off. I said, please leave me alone. You are the only uncle who hits me up about the same shit. You don't ask, you don't try to see how my mental is going. Hey, Dane, how are you? Well, you just need to, no, please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. I'm coming home to shit in front of my house. My fucking life is on the line. With shit that I'm not even telling you. And you ask me for the same shit every month. A paper to apply for my mother's shares. Come on. And I'm sitting here worried about if I'm gonna fucking have a job tomorrow or get arrested at work. Because my stepfather is doing the most to make sure that I get nothing. And I told you, he's doing the most to make sure that I get nothing. And you're asking me for a paper. And then it was so bad, the very last time that he asked me, I was on antibiotics because I had pneumonia. So I was sick, right? You know when you sick, your mind goes into, yo, I'm gonna cuss you out. But I didn't do it. I said, listen to me. I haven't been rude to you. I haven't yelled at you. I haven't come out my mouth with you. But I'm literally telling you, I do not control the justice system. You keep asking me for the same paperwork over and over again. And I'm telling you what's happening and you're not hearing. You're not hearing. So I said, please leave me alone. And he's like, oh, I will. I just want to let you know that you're rude and disrespectful. How the fuck am I? Baby, you ain't seen rude and disrespectful yet. I promise you ain't seen it yet. You ain't never seen it yet. You ain't seen it yet. Okay? So he was like, you know what, Dana, I'm going to leave you alone. I said, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Huh? And then we also have my lawyer. Yo, when I tell y'all God is protecting me, when I tell y'all God be sending my mother to tell me what to do about her case, and I'm doing everything T for T, word for word. When I tell y'all God be sending me dreams, talking about go to the courthouse and submit this paperwork, and I be going and doing it, and the judge literally saw what was going on, and she looked at me and she said, Dana, what do you want to do? I don't tell my family none of this shit because I'm like, y'all don't know how hard it is to come home afraid when somebody's putting stuff in front of your house to make sure that you remain fearful. Huh? And you asking me about a paper? Listen, don't ever be afraid to cut people off. I don't care who they are to you. Because when this man had hit me up about that paper that one last time, I told you I was on antibiotics because I had pneumonia. And then I had walking pneumonia. Huh? I was on antibiotics because I had pneumonia. And then something else was going on. Something that was bad. Why can't I remember? See? Because I'm so used to shit falling apart with the outside world and my mom's case that with like when shit happens, I'll be like, oh. And then I forget about it, which is a good thing. Oh my God, I know I had pneumonia. And something else happened. And I was at something else had happened with a friend, and my friend was going through something. And then I was heavily, heavily suicidal at that time. This happened. Because remember, when you're healing from your suicidal ideation, it's a journey, it's not a destination. So you're going to have triggers when it comes to certain things. So, I know I had pneumonia, I was on antibiotics, I was sick as shit, and then I was also suicidal, and I was helping my friend with something. So when he had hit me, I was at my rock bottom, and I was like, bro, I'm taking myself out today. I remember saying to myself, I'm taking myself out today. And then he hit me up again, and he was like, oh, you're rude and disrespectful. How you're my uncle and you telling me I'm rude and disrespectful when I was never rude and disrespectful to you? So I said, bro, it's either me or you. It's either I take myself out or I curse you out, or I tell you to leave me alone and leave me alone forever. And I chose to tell him to leave me alone forever. That was my, and it's so funny because I had prayed to God and I said, God, there are certain people who, if I never have to speak to them again, I'm okay with that. And he was on the list. I remember telling God that I was like, yo, he's on the list of those people, because you hit me up, you don't even know what's going on. You have no idea, but you fucking bothering me about a fucking piece of paper. So I was at the point where I was like, I was sleeping in my car. And I was like, God, I'm finna take myself out. This is too much. And it got to the point where it was like, you would think I killed my mother, the way the shit was happening. So I was like, God, I'm finna take myself out. And then I said, you know what, Dana, if you take yourself out, too many people would be happy that you're gone. So I said, we just gotta let people go. So I told my uncle, I said, please leave me alone. And he's like, I will. I said, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay? So stop being afraid to cut people off if your body is fucking allergic to them. Because baby, there's some people that hit me up. Y'all, so the point, do not be afraid to cut people off. Do not be afraid to like cut people off even if they're family, because you have the right to protect yourself. You have the right to stay alive. You have the right to choose you. And if choosing you means you stay alive, but you have to cut that person off, you got to cut that person off. It is what it is. Like, there's no like, you got to cut them off. Okay. So ebooks and coaching calls. Look at my house. I have to clean up. Ebooks and coaching calls are in the link down below. I'm going to put the ebook down below that helped me to stay alive when people were coming at me left and right, okay, including my uncle. Rude and disrespectful. Nigga, I ain't even cuss you out yet. You don't know what it's like for me to be rude and disrespectful to you. I didn't even try to cuss you out. All I said was, I do not control the justice system. I cannot make a judge give me the paperwork that you're requesting when I'm being looked at as a thief. And it does not work like that. It doesn't work like that. Okay? So, mind you, I wasn't even there when my mama died. How the fuck this turned? Anyway. Y'all, my life is, that's why, like, when I tell y'all I be finding my reparations, I don't have time. Like, I will find ways to not pay for stuff and still get it for free. Oh, I'm gonna show y'all my office. We all over the place with this video, but this is what y'all asked for. So, this is my office. This is my, can y'all see the chair? Oh my God, this is the chair. I'm gonna just do another, y'all gonna see, but this is my office. Y'all know my favorite color is orange, so yeah. But if you gotta cut people off, cut people off. Stop being afraid to do it. Stop saying, oh my God, I'm scared to do it. They're gonna think I'm a bad person. I thought the same thing too. I was like, yo, if I cut off my uncle, he's gonna think like, no. When you gotta choose between saving your life and cutting somebody off, choose to cut somebody off. Okay? Bye. Ebook will be down below. Bye.